alaikum.
Alaikum assalam, and inshallah, Allah will kill you all infidels.
Thank you so much for joining us. Love the headpiece, the all oppression chic. Very drip.
Mr. Fatwa, how are you?
How did you make the Elon Musk fucking SNL sketch look good by comparison? That is just a monumental task to have accomplished, but you've done it.
Hi everyone, we are live on YouTube with Colombia Anti-Semitic News, where everyone is welcome. LGBTQH.
H?
Hamas.
Yeah, I totally sim Hamas.
Yeah.
It's so trending right now.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Do you know why it's true? Because it rhymes. Just look at all this toxic stuff.
Like, there's cringe, and then there's cringe propaganda that is being used to justify war crimes. And, like, it's just fucking new levels of cringe. Like, it's bad enough that this is fucking, you know, shit that makes the Babylon Bee blush, you know? Like, where they'd be like, oh, whoa, guys, come on, this one's a little... I don't know if we do this kind of a sketch, but wow, just wow. In addition to this. And again, it's like, hey, we're going to start promoting a whole bunch of ideas that, you know, hopefully will get some people to get on our side.
Zionist propaganda. Kidnapped in Gaza. Does this look like Gaza to you?
Yeah, bro, I have no idea what Gaza looks like.
And they're smiling. Do hostages smile? Zionist liars.
Totally sus.
Do they think we're stupid?
Stupid? I major in queer post-colonial astrology. Ew. Jews make the world dirty.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm racist fluid.
Exactly.
Like, again, I don't even think the Babylon Bee has, you know, entered this territory yet. So, yeah.
Clean up your room.
Great job. Great job. Hopefully this really wins a lot of people over the social medias to be like, oh, okay, so I guess what they're doing is a righteous cause. Let's continue to make fun of people who are gender fluid or trans in the process. So, amazing. This goes on, by the way, for 3 fucking minutes, and it's like, it's cringe levels, you know, that I don't have the patience for. They end up speaking to a Hamas fighter who they're friendsies with.
And now for a little break from all this activism, we want to say hello to our BFF,
Bestie freedom fighter.
Abu Fatwa in Gaza. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum assalam, and inshallah, Allah will kill you all infidels.
Thank you so much for joining us. Love the headpiece, the all oppression chic. Very drip.
Mr. Fatwa, how are you?
How did you make the Elon Musk fucking SNL sketch look good by comparison? That is just a monumental task to have accomplished, but you've done it. You've done it. You figured out a way to make people attempting to speak in Zoomer even more cringe. Even more cringe.
A whole bunch of domestic issues to bring domestic peace and tranquility after 4 years of Donald Trump. And that's not what they've gotten. And I think that, coupled with the Gaza situation, most certainly is driving these negative numbers. They are deep.
See, I would have argued prior to this event, because you were seeing a lot of people coming out, even people like Kyle Kulinski, for example, who is obviously taking a very strong anti-Biden stance. He was starting to go on multiple different shows and speak to multiple different people, bringing a laundry list of things like, hey, by the way, there's a lot of stuff I can actually point towards that I've actually been pleasantly surprised about Biden. I'm going to go through them all, right? The lowering of the drone strikes, the ending of the Afghan war and occupation, you know, just listing a whole bunch of things. And that's all completely just burnt up in flames watching Joe Biden. Like, it'd be one thing to be like, well, America has to continue doing what America has always done, which is to be a strong ally of Israel. But it's another thing to be actually running Israeli propaganda simultaneously on the behalf of, like, you know, people are aghast right now. They're absolutely horrified. I don't think, you know, especially younger generations have ever had, or actually maybe just anyone, this much like non-stop carnage pushed on them through just having a daily addiction to social media in general. Doesn't matter matter which of your social medias. It could be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever one that you use on a regular basis. You're most likely going to see a lot of children's corpses and then recognize, whoa, I'm funding this. I'm like, every time I see all of these dead children, I'm also reminded that my own government and my taxes that I, have to pay at the end of the year are partially being used to fund all of this. That's fucking horrifying. And then to see Joe Biden go on a television and be like, Israel has a right to defend itself, and then start doing, fucking ethnic cleansing apologia, being like, well, we also need to talk about how these numbers could be inflated. I don't think they're entirely accurate, stuff like that. Obviously, it's turning people off at incredibly high rates. And the thing is, I still want people to kind of reframe this, because liberals are getting mad at people mad at genocide, instead of getting mad at the people who are currently aiding that. That's exactly where your anger should be. Like, how can you posture about democracy 24/7 and being like, yes, one of the great things about democracy is that we all have an equal vote. Well, not people who have criminal records, obviously, but most of us have an equal vote. Obviously, people who are a lot rich and wealthy have the ability to influence politics and politicians a lot more. So you might even say they have more of a vote than most. But either way, most of us just get that one vote. And at the end of the day, the politicians, they work for us, not the other way around, and when they come to power, they have to listen to us because we're technically their bosses, and we can get them unelected if we want.
I think Democrats need to stop fretting, need to stop looking at this as a warning, and look at it as a wake-up call to organize, to mobilize, to register people, to talk about the accomplishments of this administration. If you want to beat Donald Trump, stop clutching your pearls and get to work.
You just heard Ana Navarro's response to Democrats concerned about new polling, which indicates that Biden is in serious danger of losing to Donald Trump. Now, even though she was probably the most dismissive, her response was emblematic of basically everyone else on the panel, with one exception. Now, we're going to come back to The View in a moment, but first, I do want to look at these polls that confirm Biden is indeed in serious danger. On Sunday, a poll conducted by Siena College and the New York Times found that Trump is ahead in 5 out of 6 swing states: Nevada, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and in the only swing state where Biden is ahead, in Wisconsin, he's still polling within the margin of error. Now, when you look at the crosstabs, voters trust Trump more on the economy by 22 points.
This is the shit that, like, Biden is supposed to be crushing, by the way. It's like, okay, fine, he may be way too enthusiastic about his support for Israel and their horrifying actions right now, but at least he can tout the economy, the job rates, all that kind of stuff. He fixes that stuff.
Immigration.
This dude is a fucking criminal. Donald Trump is a goddamn criminal. He's just like, how do you fuck over the American people so much, and at the same time people are like, well, economically speaking, I trust that guy, Why? Well, he says he's a billionaire or something. Self-made too, apparently. He did it all himself. Yeah.
National security by 12 points, and even Israel-Palestine by 11 points, which is shocking considering the fact that a Data for Progress poll conducted in mid-October found that 66% of voters support a ceasefire, including 57%.
Now there's something that maybe all of the liberals who are now getting very upset about this, you might want to start writing in to your politicians and saying, hey, the vast majority of the American people want a ceasefire. No one wants to look at this anymore. No one wants to see it every fucking day. We don't want to hear the stories of how 700 civilians were killed in a 24-hour period in horrifying conditions where they were bombed and crushed and gassed and white phosphorus melted their skin off and shit like that. We don't want to have to keep seeing it all the time, but we don't have a choice because the numbers are so fucking bad, and you keep saying that you not only support this, but that, hey, at the end of the day, Israel has a right to defend itself. And it's like, oh, can we see the numbers, please? Can we? Oh, CBS has a report. That's right. Okay, we finally have numbers. CBS, what do you got for us? Apparently, 68. That's right. 68 Hamas fighters, key Hamas fighters, have been eliminated. 68. We have an official number finally. It's 68. That's coming all the way from the IDF itself. 68. And sorry, how many civilians at this point? Over 10,000. Wow. And how many key Hamas fighters need to be taken out before this is considered a success?
Hamas immunity just because they hide behind civilians.
Israel claims it has killed more than 60 Hamas operatives.
And there it is, everybody. there it is. Over 60 key Hamas operatives have been killed in this campaign so far. Now, let's see. What is the count here, since we finally have some real numbers coming out? Euromed Monitor. Let's look it up. So we can get some confirmed statistics. Here we have it. And here's the cost. 10,581 people killed, 4,412 children, 2,761 women, 9,641 civilians. So for 9,641 civilians, they've killed 10,581 of those they say are 64 key Hamas fighters. Currently, there's these are estimated, 2,411 people still under rubble. That's going to be presumed dead for now. Injuries, 28,137. Displaced, 1.5 million. Completely destroyed units of housing, 51,000. Partially destroyed units of housing, 153,000. Destroyed or damaged press headquarters, 109. Damaged schools, 194. Destroyed industrial facilities, 740. Damaged mosques, 61. Damaged churches, 3. Targeted health staff, 290, including 135 health staff killed, 155 health staff injured. Targeted health facilities, 111, 20 hospitals, 50 clinics, 42 ambulances, and murdered journalists is now at 46. 46. And again, to achieve this.
Also support a ceasefire. But we're not done yet, because a CBS News poll finds that a majority of likely voters believe that Trump's level of support for Israel would be about right compared to Biden's. And the same respondents also believe that having Biden as president would increase the chance of war by 10 points, and having Trump as president would increase international peace and stability by 16 points. Holy shit, this is bad. Now, Biden's also doing poorly on the economy in this poll as well. Voters believe that the economic policies of Biden and Trump would disproportionately favor the wealthy, but a plurality of voters think that Trump's economic policies would be better for their own personal finances. In other words, if Biden doesn't immediately reverse course, he is going to lose to Donald Trump next year.
Yeah, so everybody, and I include myself amongst them, who wants to stop Donald Trump, who thinks Donald Trump is a fucking disgusting ass fascist who tried to steal an election and is trying to promote a whole bunch of very, very horrifying policies, both domestically and internationally. The difference being is that the domestic policies of Biden are slightly better, but Biden seems just as much on board with the horrifying international policies, including endorsing and funding genocide. So as long as that's the case, hey, this is Biden. This is on Biden. Be mad at Biden. Get angry at Biden. Demand Biden call for a ceasefire. Demand an end to all arms sales and shipments to Israel. Hey, same thing with Justin Trudeau. I mean, I know that one's a lost cause in Canada. Justin Trudeau has been fucked well before he all of a sudden became genocide Justin in the country. But hey, same thing. Guess what? Multiple people are now demanding that Justin Trudeau, including the entire federal NDP, stop, like as in all arms sales to Israel. And a lot of that, they have stated publicly, is because of the hundreds of thousands of letters they had written into them to demand, and now they're doing it on the strongest possible terms. So yeah, get fucking mad at Joe Biden and fucking angry at Joe Biden, because it seems like Joe Biden is going to hand the candidacy over to a fucking criminal like Donald Trump. It's not going to be those those few people online who you manage to vote shame and posture for a little bit and then feel all good afterwards and be like, oh, well, yeah, you don't understand how this works. Do you want to sacrifice the Supreme Court, do you? Is that it? You feel like that, huh? Look at the privilege oozing off these people who refuse to spend hours in line to vote for Joe Biden. And it's like, then be mad at fucking Joe Biden. Be mad at like, it's very clear as day that these policies are the ones that are turning voters off of Joe Biden. It's not a couple of influencers online. It's like, do you think that they're wielding that power? That one YouTuber or one Twitch streamer all of a sudden was just like, Joe Biden sucks. And then his audience was like, yeah, Joe Biden does suck. And then they're like, we're not going to vote for him. We're going to vote for Trump. No. People who might not even look at online influencers or follow this kind of shit online, who even pay attention to any of this stuff, are disgusted by this. They like, everyone is revolted. Every single person. You don't even have to be super political. If you turn on any social media app right now and you just see piles and piles of dead children after dead children after dead children, and then a very cursory Google search all of a sudden makes it appear like Oh yeah, that's why that's why all of our funding is going. Oh God, so I'm kind of complicit in this. My taxpayers are going towards this, and he's just directly endorsing these policies, and they're not even putting on terms and conditions. They're just like, yes, well, we hope that you will be humane in the way that you conduct warfare with our bombs, but we're not going to stop you from doing the things you're doing. At the end of the day, that's what's disgusting people. That's what's turning them off Joe Biden. That's what's getting them like. I could never vote for Joe Biden. That's the person with whom you should be fucking mad right now.
Democracy is at stake. Trump is reportedly mulling a plan to invoke the Insurrection Act on day one in order to violently squash any inevitable protests that occur in response to his reelection. And it's an idea that's cooked up by the same people.
And don't get me wrong, by the way, like most leftists, I know. I have been a vocal fuck Donald Trump person as long as I've had a platform, okay? And yes, I see that every single time the libs are doing this fucking coat of paint on their little support of ethnic cleansing where they apply a nice beautiful little rainbow on it, and then they'll say, by the way, we strongly oppose Islamophobia and we want to put in programs to protect people from Islamophobia while we also support the funding and bombing of a whole bunch of Muslims overseas who happen to be already in very impoverished and terrible conditions, but we'd like to say domestically that we don't support racism. Whereas look at the other side. The other side is like, we don't give a fuck. We're proud and racist. And hey, by the way, we're thinking of all of a sudden exporting them Muslims again. Yeah, hell yeah, we're gonna get right back at this. Let's ban a whole bunch of countries again. And it's like, well, why are you banning those countries? Because they're all Muslims. Yeah, hell yeah, we don't give a fuck. Yeah, so Donald Trump is going to do horrifying things, and he's also going to do it while being overtly racist. He's going to be outwardly racist, which again is something that a lot of well-to-do liberals and progressives just, oh my, no, oh, that's terrible, that's uncouth. Did you hear the words that he used? That was racism, it truly was. What's that? You need more money to fund Israel's war machine? Absolutely, you can have all the money you need. Here you are, here's all the money. Yes, yes. But anyways, the naughty words that Trump is saying, disgusting, I say, very, very gross. And the biggest difference that I noticed under the Trump administration is that the liberals were calling out the shitty stuff. The shitty stuff that all of a sudden kind of went on mute after Joe Biden took over. It's like, so whatever happened to that whole separating families things at the border and the mass rape of children that was happening at the hands of ICE agents? That's really fucked up, right? Yes, we hear you. That was barbaric because Trump is a racist, but we're different now, all right? What we've done is we reunite the families together and then they get to stay in the same cage. So you're still locking up kids. You're putting them, yes, but with their families. Also, plastic cages. Don't know if you've seen this, right? Less scary. Ooh, instead of like metal bars, we have plastic cages. So that one is that one's a little bit better there too. Yeah, for sure. Are you going to abolish ICE, considering like all the fucked up shit they've been doing? And like again, these reports are pretty damning. There has been the mass sexual abuse of children at the hands of government officers. That's fucked up. That means taxes go towards this. Are you going to stop that? No. And we actually, that whole border wall thing, we're looking into that. It seems like maybe that was a good idea. No, it wasn't. You were calling that out. You were calling all of this out. Like, that's the thing. It really fucking sucks that it's a team sports to so many people because, hey, guess what? I haven't noticed a lot of lefties hesitate at being disgusted by Bernie Sanders, even though he's our guy, right? It's like, yeah, Bernie Sanders is our guy. Okay, is he calling for a ceasefire? No, he says you can't have a ceasefire against an enemy like Hamas. Well, fuck him then. Fuck him. And fuck the team sports shit. What matters is the issues. What matters is what's happening to people. That's what's important. So if you happen to care more about a blue party or Democrat, you know, side teams, all this kind of shit, it's not fucking football. This is real life. That's the fucked up thing about all this. Is that so many people treat the entire thing just like it's a fucking show. It's a game show.
Indonesia Hospital were some of the most incredible people I've ever met in my life. When everything went off and we got the notice to move south of Wadi Gaza, I was texting my nurses at Indonesia Hospital and I said, we lost a nurse weekend one. He was killed when the ambulance outside the hospital was blown up. And I was texting them when we got the evacuation orders and I said, did any of you move south? Did any of you get out? Like, are any of you coming down this way? And the only answer I got was, this is our community. This is our family. These are our friends. If they're gonna kill us, we're gonna die saving as many people as we can. And I said, if I can ever have an ounce of the heart that you have, I will die a happy person. They were incredible. that my doctors and nurses didn't leave out of loyalty to their community. And I know that there is an idea being pushed right now that anyone that stayed behind is going to be considered some kind of a threat. And I want to remind people that the people that stayed behind are heroes. The people that stayed behind they know they're going to die, and they're choosing to stay behind anyway.
You're talking about doctors, nurses in the hospital?
I wake up every morning and I send out a text message and I ask, are you alive? And every night before I go to sleep, I send another message and says, are you alive?
Well, Kelly, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This show is produced by amazing people like you, and if you want to help us out, please consider donating over at patreon.com/theserfs. The show is made possible thanks to Amazing Fletch, Anna Loves Riley, Ariane McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Doug Cady, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Lamidia Panza, Matthew Scarborough, Multimondi, Omni, Peanut Butter Blondie, Political Pappy, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Ruby K, Sir Nickus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian Demo, Tech Tink, Trevbot EXE, Words Greenwood, and not to mention all of the amazing and fabulous people you now see before you.